here, I want to share with you my little friend. We call him Gambler. He's an off-the-track thoroughbred that has been off the track for several years. I got him from a lady that rescued him off the track. So it's been kind of an advantage for me because, you know, when they come off the track, the horses have got a long period of time they got to go through of just going through an orientation of living a normal life. So a lot of times they come off the track and they're really hyped up on feed and supplements and injections, and you know, the horse is kind of in a predicament because they're unusable, and the meat buyers, they don't want them because they've had so many drugs pumped into them and so many injections, they can't butcher them and ship them. So if they do go for slaughter, they have to ship them to Mexico, and I guess those people don't care about all that stuff down there. But you know, the other slaughterhouses that are selective, they don't want them. You know, they wouldn't give you $20 for one. So that puts the horses in a real awkward spot where they're not usable, they're not safe, and they're not edible. So what are you going to do with them? So there's a lot of thoroughbred racehorse people that are actually kind of taking accountability for that and putting money into it, I hear, and trying to help efforts like this. So, you know, I certainly respect that and honor that. I think that's a great thing to do. If you're going to take this horse and race him and make millions of dollars with him, and when he gets slow, don't sell him out and send him to the butcher shop. So why don't we just try to help him find a life now and find a home that he might deserve. So my horse here, Gambler, came to me. He'd been off the track, so that nice lady has got all that stuff straightened out where he's been able to kind of get his system cleaned up, and so he's nice and healthy, and he's sound. You know, he's not, you know, got soundness issues. So his feet are good, and but his problem was when he came in here, he just didn't trust people. He hated people. I mean, he just hated people, probably for good reason. A lot of times on the track, they put a chain over their nose and they're jerking on them, and their stable hands are very brutal a lot of times. Not always, but most of the time. So when I see these kind of horses, they're always very suspicious of people, and their heads up in the air looking around, and they're very difficult to handle. So when he came in here, oh, it's been about a week, I just saw something in him I liked, and I just saw a kindness in him that I just have been at this so long, I can kind of sense it, I can feel it. So I said to myself, you know, I'm just going to take that horse and make him my project and have a little fun here and see what we can do. And over the years, we've done that in the past, where we've taken some of these horses that people given up on, nobody wanted, and we kind of made them very special. Sometimes I think it's just a good exercise of your horsemanship. So when Gambler came in here, he was very untrusting. So the first thing I did is I worked on softening, take my left hand here, my right hand, and just getting him to pivot his head and softening his jaw. Pull down on the rope, get him to give me a yield. So when I first started doing that, he picked his head up in there like a giraffe. He thought I was going to pound on him with a shank chain over his nose. But once he figured out that, no, we're not going to do that. Look how nice. See there? Look at there. And then I took him and got the end of his nose, and I just massaged his nose like this. And we're going to show you with this other horse coming in here in a little bit. I'm curious to see how he's going to respond to all this, okay? So I really can't do much with the rest of his body until I've made peace with his head. That's kind of how I feel about it. And so then I worked with him. Like the first day when I did this, he picked his head straight up in the air. See how he wants to do it now even. But now watch. I just show him companionship and just a little compassion. Here, see? And a horse, when you do this, I don't know what it is, but they don't like that confinement. You know, their nature is to not welcome that. But in order for us to restart him like we would if he were a baby, this is how we would start a baby. You know, we would come in here and we would earn that baby's trust, and we would imprint that baby and get him to where he trusts us. But see, he's got to really trust me to allow me to do this. So last week about this time when I did this, he picked his head up, picked me up off the ground, and I'm no light guy. But that just tells you of his attitude on how good it is and what integrity he has, is that just in a week, the progress we've made.